It is important for us as the entire African continent to really look at the development of China within such a very short space of time. 50 years might look like a very long time, but if you look at where China was pre that 50 years from then to now, it's important for us as Africans to realize and recognize that when people commit themselves through their own government and ensuring that the government itself is a committed government that builds and makes a blueprint and sticks to the blueprint, as Professor Tembe was saying earlier on. It is important for the entire African continent to look at itself, firstly from a developmental point of view, and secondly from a security point of view, thirdly from an economic point of view. China has focused on the prosperity of its people. China has focused on infrastructure development. China has focused in good governance, and China has focused in building institutions of government that respond to the needs of our people. So as it was indicated here earlier on about whether South Africa and Africa must look at China individually or look at China from a broader perspective of the billions of members of citizens of the African continent. China is the biggest actually. It has the biggest population, which therefore translates into the biggest consumption, which therefore translates to a number of things that are convenient and good when you look at a bigger population. What we are having here today, and I'm very happy that Paul Zilungele Tembe has decided to write out of his own experience of having lived in China for the past 10 years. So he is one person that we can learn from in particular, because he's not only just speaking from political, diplomatic engagement, people-to-people engagement. He has lived in China, so he is expressing his own experience of being in China. And lastly, we are preparing for the FOCAC meeting, which is happening next month, as obviously going to be led by President Cyril Ramaphosa. As the African National Congress, we are looking very sharply at the ANC's own policy decisions, its own approach to global issues, and also want to make sure that government implements those policies as identified by the African. Is what President Xi Jinping speaks about a win-win situation. And here Professor Mutambara says, win-win, what does the meaning of win-win? A meaning of win-win is when both gain out of the relationship. And in this particular case, we are looking at China, looking at South Africa from a point of view of gain and prosperity for Africans. We talk about minerals going out of the African continent untempered, unchanged, unbeneficiated and all. And we are saying there's got to be that change. It must not be a song anymore. It must be reality. And we know that China needs a lot of the resources from the African continent. And we are saying to China, yes, the resources are available, but let us talk about our own industrialization. Let us talk about our own beneficiation, so that the jobs that we are looking for as Africa, the jobs must be created here at home. And the economic prosperity that we are looking for must also happen here in the African continent.